we sweat through the final days of August and await the start of football season, we gather to ponder a cool, refreshing thought: Bedlam in December. I'm Oklahoman columnist Barry Trammell here with OU beat writer David Ubben and OSU beat writer John Helsley, and this is Bedlam Nation Conversation. Guys, in Wednesday's edition of the Oklahoman, down on News OK, I trotted out an idea I just love. I've thought about it for 10, 12 years. Haven't had any takers, but got a little bit better response this time. I would like to see the All-College Basketball Classic go to a straight head-to-head matchup. Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. Guys, what do you think?
Well, I think your gut reaction is we shouldn't be playing conference games in December. But, you know, like you said, if you think about it, the negatives kind of start to disappear. I mean, I think the biggest thing is if you do that, you create a spectacle. And, you know, nobody wants to see LaSalle come to town, but people want to see OU and OSU. And I think a spectacle to get people to turn out and get people inside the Ford Center.
John?
Well, people are obviously going to show up. I think it would be a great attraction. Wouldn't be a conference game. It'd be a non-conference game. And, you know, Barry, I don't know if you remember this. A few years ago, we had the tornado. They played an extra baseball game, Bedlam, downtown, and it was a huge hit. They raised a lot of money. People showed up. They weren't sick of Bedlam baseball at that point. I think it'd be a fabulous idea. I also liked your idea of having a men's-women's doubleheader.
Well, and here's what I like about the all-college going Bedlam. I think OU-OSU is I think it's a very prestigious rivalry nationally, and I think it's got good national status, but I think this would even elevate it more so. I think people on the West Coast, on the East Coast would say, what's going on out there? That's something different, that's something unique. I think it would have the chance to raise Bedlam's profile even more nationally. I
think so. On a national stage, I mean, there's a little bit of a dry spot in December for meaningful basketball, and it doesn't get more meaningful than a rivalry game. And, you know, outside of the women's games when Connecticut and Tennessee get to play and then those top teams play each other, you don't get to see a whole lot, and I think that'd be definitely a great step for college basketball as a whole.
Think about the atmosphere in the Ford Center. Think about splitting the arena, half orange, half red, only a real orange as opposed to what we get in the Cotton Bowl in October. I just think it'd be a fabulous spectacle. The one thing that both Travis Ford and Joe Castiglione wondered about was, would a non-conference December game take away from the two conference games later in the winter? What do you guys think?
I don't think there's any chance of that. If anything, I think it would heighten it. One, you've got this neutral game, and then you're going to take off from there and go play a couple of home court games. So that would just fuel the game, I think, in each city, Stillwater and Norman. I don't see any way it could take away from the regular season.
I agree, and it takes away from having a split in the season. I think every year, now that you play 3 Bedlam games, somebody walks out of the year a clear victor.
That's all for this edition of the Bedlam Nation Conversation, but you can stay with the best coverage on OU and OSU anywhere, every day at News OK, and every morning in the Oklahoman.